Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Big Talk on Global Television. Tonight we'll be looking at the state of the nation. Much has happened in the country of recent. It has to do with the economic realities that is facing Nigeria. And yesterday the youths and the people of Niger State took to the state capital protesting due to the high cost of living. And of course, these reactions have throughout so many comments coming from commentators. And the reality is that the country is set to be on a national protest because in Kano State, even the governor has actually set up a committee to look at the economic realities also, which is perceived to be another protest that will be coming from Kano State. All of this is due to the high cost of living and the inflation that are actually rocking the country as of now. Joining me on the studio tonight for the conversations on the state of the nation and the cost of living. How should government be on their feet to arrest this situation? Is a human rights activist, Clifford Darlington, joining me tonight for this conversation. Good to have you, Clinton.
Good to have you.
Today, you just came out from the National Assembly. Before we actually go into the issues of Niger State, Mina precisely, tell us the report coming from the public hearing that you actually participated today.
The public hearing today was on the medical space, and I think we are not ready as a nation yet, because if we can't treat our doctors well, they get better offers outside. Nobody's in a charity organization. Everybody wants to live well. Everybody wants to be able to fund his or her own child. Our hospitals are in a very bad state. May I remind you that presently in the FCT here, the primary health centers are on strike for a while now, and nothing has been done about it. I don't think they regard our hospitals and our doctors enough. They are not being taken care of. The hospitals are not being funded. They are poorly funded. Go to most hospitals, it's not even conducive. It's almost of the same standard with the police station, where you just go in and see yourself ravishing in beds that are filled with bed bugs and the rest. So that's the state we find ourselves in this nation as at now. The Senate has also come up with their normal routine of coming up with policies. Most times those policies are not being implemented, and that's the same problem we always have in Nigeria. Policies that are not visible. They create policies to govern people, not to enslave them. As of today, I listened to the president of the private sector in the medical speak. He spoke bitterly. You cannot be giving me an instruction or a policy that bent on running my business. You are asking me as a private company holder who pays his tax. I pay for my own electricity, water, security, and everything. Not funding from the government. And you're giving me the same instruction you're giving to a public sector that is being funded by the government. No, that's very wrong.
They're not being encouraged.
No, they're not being encouraged. That's not. Listen, like he was complaining that even in Lagos State recently, that there is a taxation that the Lagos government came up with for the private sectors, mostly in the medical field. And I think when it comes to the medical field, they really need to go easy on them, honestly. They really need to go easy on them. The man even made it outrightly clear that a couple of years back, last year or thereabout, he went to Australia for a program, and it was offered about the conversion rate as at what he did on was about 200 million naira for a year. How much is it being paid there in Nigeria? So automatically our medical doctors and nurses are just doing charity work for us here. We need to really do appreciate them.
So we do hope that the committee or the public hearing will afford the Senate, not just because the 10 Senate have promised Nigerians that they will be different in their proactiveness. So we wish, from the public hearing, they can actually hear from them and then implement all of these things we've been here been hearing on subsequent Senate. But that is not the focus for tonight. The focus of tonight is the economic reality of the country. People are finding it very difficult to survive. Survival is actually a do or a die affair in the country. People are dying due to hunger. People cannot afford 3 square meals, a common 3 square meals, and families are struggling to survive. This has been the concern of the student group, the youth group, and everybody, because it actually eating them. The presidency, in some of his broadcasts, has actually told Nigerians that they should exercise patience, that we should bear the cost of living, that things will get better. But it seems every day passes by, things get worse in the country. if you look at the video that came from Mina yesterday, let's take a watch at that video and the reactions of the youths on the street. And of course, they did not just take the street, the protest elsewhere. They took it to the main expressway. They blocked goods, movement was seized for hours until the interventions of the governor. Let's take a watch at the video that came from Mina yesterday at the protest due to cost of living. Darlington, that video, if it was a political rally, people would have been said is a mobilized crowd. Or if it was behind a protest protecting a politician, people would have said that the same. But the causes of why they are protesting is because of hunger. Nigerians are not surviving. What can you say about this?
It's funny. It's funny because for a very long time we've neglected this. And most people don't, when you call 3 square meals, I laugh. Most people don't even have, even those that even eat 2 square meals, a balanced diet. That's the first thing. People eat now just to keep body and souls together, not to be filled. How much is a pack of Indomie as at last time? This January, I tried buying a bag of rice and I found out that it added extra 15,000 compared to what I bought it in November. And I was marveled. No, I don't think there's anybody working in the private sector and the government sector yet that has a salary increment. And yet, everything is on the high side. If you must step out in Nigeria on a daily basis, you at least give and take, you're ready to spend a minimum of 5 to 10,000 naira. Or if you're spending the 10,000 naira on a daily basis, check what it takes in a week. That will be 50,000 in 5 working days, and that will be 200,000 in a 4 working week. How much is the salary? So how are we complementing these things? Those crowd I see, they are not just crying for hunger. They are crying for a better Nigeria. Look at those people. Imagine if this crowd is being channeled into a particular workspace, like a factory, a farm or something, and these people are productive, then the country will move forward. The present leadership has not paid attention to the problem. They feel they have a military might or the rest to subdue the masses, but they should understand something. That these people in the military, the police and the rest, they all have brothers and sisters outside. And there are others you can give at a point they will flaunt it. This is coming from Mina, a place whereby leadership is still a bit civil, where people can talk to people and they will listen. Imagine if the South rises up, the people that have a mind of their own, the people that can stand up and say, no, enough is enough. If you want us to die today, we are going to die today. Look at what happened during the EndSARS. Look at what happened in states like Rivers State. The then Governor Nyesom Wike asked the people not to come out. They came out in their thousands. Look at what happened in Delta State. I was privileged to be in Asaba by then. We saw the mammoth crowd that came out for the protest. The government is sitting on a time bomb. They are sitting on a time bomb. One, there is a high level of unemployment. Second, there is a high level of inflation. Thirdly, there is a high level of insecurity. But let me tell you this, the major problem of insecurity is as a result of non-engagement of the youth. A working youth that has a place to go, that works 9 to 5, won't have time for crime. Because before you come back, you're too tired to even start thinking of crime. But like the saying, an idle man is a devil's workshop. I'm calling on the government to make hay while the sun still shines.
Renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu is actually greeting Nigerians with renewed hardship. This is the president that told Nigerians that he will hit the ground running from day one. And it seems that all is not well, and the presidency are not in action. Every day, they are trying to reply who says who, or what reactions are. Are you really seeing that this is the president that is on top of the game, and is this something that can be solved? Is this something that he can arrest? Because as you said, it's not just the economic crisis. Every sector seems to be failing. Because I didn't think it was a subsidy removal. He had excuses that a few politicians were actually, using the subsidy issues, to enrich themselves. How about other sectors? You have appointed the security chiefs to man the security. They are not doing their jobs. You've appointed a new CBN governor. He seems he's not doing his job. Dollar to naira today is not what we can be analyzing. Is this a man that we can really say that is on top of the game?
First of all, I will say something. The president, from the onset, made big mistakes in his appointment. In the appointment of the president, you look pretty. You don't see any smart technocrat there. You don't see game changers there. You don't see people that think outside the box. You only see people that are very good at giving excuse. When the government came in and started giving an excuse that the past government has treated the country dry, I laughed. I saw under 4 years of failure, under 4 years of hardship, a good workman doesn't complain about his tools. He looks for a way to manage them.
Yeah.
First of all, there are things you need to put in order. The likes of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala is in trade,
the world trade. Yes.
And we need people that can fix our economy. She has done it before. We need to push away tribalism, ethnicity, and religion to fix Nigeria. Nigeria sits on a time bomb. Because, why am I saying so? You have a high level of unengaged youth. Most youth have resorted into crime, a type of internet fostering and the rest. So it keeps them a little bit engaged. They have a little stuff to eat. Imagine when that is totally short, what will happen? I was laughing over the internet the other day when I saw how much the EFCC said they got from the former Minister of Humanitarian, about 40 billion. And I'm asking, if they can get 40 billion, who knows how much left is still with her? The Senate is not doing enough, because the heartbeat of the democracy is the Senate. If today the Senate decide to fix Nigeria, it won't take more than a year, Nigeria will be fixed. I was privileged to be a senator when I was in the university, so I know much about the legislative arm of the government. From my childhood, I started reading books on the legislative arm of the government. No, if the legislative arm rise up today and said, no, for every currency that is in Nigeria, okay, let's change our currency first of all, then let's see how it fixes. For those that have like laundered this money, I would have cited an instance of what happened in 2019 during the election by one of the senators then in Rivers State, but I wouldn't want to go there, whereby the houses were loaded with money, not soft currency, heavy currency. I saw money and I was shocked. I was like, is this a bank or is it a residential building? Last year, the EFCC went to raid a house in Wamimpa. They saw a very good amount of money. I can challenge the central bank that today they don't know how much is in circulation. How do you then fix an economy? You don't pick up a banker to come and fix an economic problem. The problem with Nigeria is still we pick up politicians to fix critical issues. I lost a very good friend. He didn't die. I lost him to politics because I have a different view. He really wanted me to work with this government, and I told him, you know, I'm a man of integrity. I wouldn't soil my name, so tomorrow I will not look at the people that still gives me my respect. The last time I tried contacting him, he was too shy to talk to me. I told him, this is our life. It's not about how much you get from these people. What about your brothers? I'm a working class person, but I can tell you I get text messages from brothers, relatives from everywhere, like, boss, things are tough. Boss, can I get this? So the government is not sitting up. They are not seeing the cry of the people. The president has been in France for how long now? We don't know what he's doing in France. How can the ministers travel from here to France to pay the president a visit? For what? Wasting taxpayers' money. You just waved him goodbye at the airport and you're traveling again to go and see him. For what? Does that mean you have nothing to do on your table? So that's the problem, my dear brother. The government is not, they're not on that top game. They're just looking for excuses, blame games, the same blame games that we suffered for 8 years in the hands of President Mohamed Buhari. That's what we're still suffering in the hands of President Tinubu. So I don't think they are ready to fix Nigeria.
The reality of this is actually Nigerians are the ones to be victim. This is just 8 months of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Few months, 1 year to be done. And we have 3 more years to stay, because we must, is a law that we must wait for the next 4 years, and if anything must happen, you know, the change of power or whatever. And when you said that nothing can be done, what is the way forward for Nigerians to survive?
Nigerians need to stand up. It's their right. Nigerians need to know that it's their right to stand up and protest. You made a mistake when you said it must be 4 years. That's a lie. The Senate has the right to impeach the president if they find him incompetent. And
but the Senate that we are having in the country, more APC members, and the presidency is an APC member, cannot do that.
That's not true. If we see that the Senate can't do it, then do you know, as Nigerians, we have the right to call back our senators?
And
if we see that the Senate are not ready to fix it, then we call back our senators, send the new ones there, then they do it. They have to sit up. I had so much hope in this past, after this past election in the legislative arm of the government, because it was a bit mixed. When we have the Labour Party coming in,
the few statistics of other parties cannot do anything.
No, yes, you cannot do anything, but you can.
Because in the Senate, is it not majority that has the
majority,
voice?
but you can be a voice. No, it doesn't need to be majority. You can be a voice. You can be, one man can make a lot.
So are you saying that Labour Party senators are silenced in the national Assembly?
Yes, they are. Actually, they are. Senator Witi, she's trying a bit, but I don't think she's in good communication with her co-senators. At first, the card they gave to them was a big blow to the Nigerian people. We were expecting them to reject it first, but they didn't. The present Senate led by the...
And even if the few of them, because they had an argument, even if the few of them are rejected, what would have made a change?
It would have caused a big upswing. The people have had hope in them. Let me explain something that happened in 2017 when I was a senator at the Federal University of Petroleum Resources. They were looting. There was a heavy form of looting, and when it got to my attention, I started an impeachment process. Then one person came to me and said, "Comment, sir, that why we didn't inform you was that because we know you would never partake in any form of evil. People should know you for who you are. People should not have a second thought about you. The senators are supposed to represent the people. How many of those senators have been to the market of late? I saw many of them today. They were shining. They don't look like the Nigerian situation. They don't know what the people are going through. They don't know. It's like they are living far away from those people.
Some of them do go to their village.
Going to the village. Do they meet with the people? This one they go to the village, they tell you only the king can come visit some future.
We saw a senator sharing 1,000 naira to a bagman the other time. Wasn't it reaching out to the people?
When you're giving, if you're giving and you're with camera and you're not giving, you're doing eye service.
Giving what the senators meant to give?
No, you can actually send palliatives to your people.
They meant to give palliatives?
Yes. It's your people, you're representing the people. Even you as an individual, if you feel you want to give to your people, you have the right to give to your people. Giving is not about...
Because most of the times we hear them argue that they were sent to make laws.
Yes, they are sent to make laws.
And oversight functions, to look at...
what happens to the constitutional this allocation that is given to them for the development of their region? Don't they get
and
it?
then they will tell you that the money given to them is not even enough.
It's not enough. What are they doing with it? Are they going to court file? What are they doing with it? They have enough allocation even to newspaper, wardrobe and the rest. How many civil servants have even... Some civil servants have not changed their shoe for the past 5 years. So what are they saying? Every year they give you wardrobe allowance. What are you wearing? What are you wearing? As a man, you don't even need more than 10 pairs of shoes. So what are you wearing? So it's not enough. What are you doing with the money? For you to say something is not enough, you must be showing us that, okay, we are doing this, but it's not enough. You can't tell me you're squandering money up and down, telling me it's not enough. Can any of them point out one constitutional project that they've carried out successfully, apart from what these are sharing 5 modules of rice, 2 cups of spaghettis, Maggi's and the rest? What have the senators done?
So are you losing hope from the National Assembly?
I lost hope already. Not am I losing hope. I lost hope already. I'll be going back to the National Assembly tomorrow for the next public hearing. But I will tell you categorically that this present Senate does not have a solution to the Nigerian problem. If they do, we'll start seeing the signs of it. Okay, tell me, this is 8 months after the removal of subsidy. Why is the Port Harcourt refinery not working? Why is the Kaduna refinery not working? Why is the Warri refinery not working? I was privileged to school. I attended the Federal University of Petroleum Resources, so I have many friends that are in various sectors, and we speak a lot. And I ask them, this is an rocket science. They are not rocket science. So what will take 8 months for you to fix? You're not building. You're doing maintenance. What is taking 8 months for you to maintain? For God's sake. There are so many lies that are not telling the people. The people are not informed. Our religious leaders are not even doing well. They are trying to play on our mind. God will. No! Israel Jesus came from Israel, but yeah, these people still defend themselves. Enough of all this religious thing. I was speaking to one of those religious brothers that he said, without God, nothing. I said, oh, that's good, you're right there. But imagine if you're God, and imagine if as a father, you have a son. You have everything in the house. You have food already in the dining for him to just go and sit and eat. And he comes crying to you that, Daddy, please come and feed me. And not a child, a man. How would you feel as a father? He said, you slap the hell out of him and say, that's what Nigeria is doing. We have the portion of food to eat from, and yet we are still going to beg God that we want to eat. If Nigeria, let me tell you today, if Nigeria push away religion, push away tribalism, Nigeria will be the greatest nation on earth. I want to cite an instance with this present Super Eagles playing football. Watch how they are playing. Ahmed Musa is a captain, but he's a Muslim. He's not in his best form. He's seated at the bench. Iheanacho is also a nice, fantastic striker, but he has not been doing well lately. He's seated at the bench. But whenever his teammates score, how they all rejoice. Remember, whenever they finish the man, they kneel down to thank God for it. That is teamwork. Any day Nigeria decides to do teamwork, this country will be fixed.
But people were saying that President Tinubu is only the man that will be able to speak to powers.
That's a lie. People felt.
So the man in Nasarawa cannot address the issue of calling a spade a spade?
He cannot. Because already the process that brought him in wasn't fair enough. The people, let me tell you something. When the people vote you in with all joy, they work with you. When people give you their hope, their trust, they're going to work with you to make sure it is actualized. But when you steal the people's mandate, it will be struggles upon struggles, because everybody will be trying to struggle his own to put in his pocket. I want to challenge anybody that can come up and say any of the ministers that are appointed have lived up to 60% of the expectation. Not one. The only senator that is trying is I think the Minister of Interior is trying to put in one or two things in the recent. Getting visa is your passport is a bit easy. But see, they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything. Can the Minister of Finance come to tell us, give us a breakdown of the total money allocated to every minister and what they are doing with it? Nigerians are supposed to. We've gotten to that point where it's choking. The doing of every Nigerian, the biggest testimony in every church now is that a brother or a sister got a visa, either to Canada, UK, US. You see how they celebrate it, going out to be an immigrant, and you're celebrating it. If this country is working, nobody will want to go out. If this country is working, people will not be crying.
All right. Today, when you were at the National Assembly, I think the public hearing held at the Senate,
yes,
the Senate wing. The House of Representative members had the CBN governor, had Minister of Finance, had Minister of Budget Planning, and all of those economic team, to address the House of Reps in response to the current economic reality. Do you feel these people have a magic, to do?
Fixing an economy is not a magic. It's not rocket science, neither is it magic. But you need to have the thinkers. People need to think. People need to use their mind. Look at what are we wasting on? What can we cut on to fix this economy? What are we not doing right? I can challenge you to say that the president has not even seen what they are doing wrong presently, that is making this economy go down. As of today, I think the dollar is almost chasing 1,005. So what can they do to return the dollar back? God bless the soul of former President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. I will categorically say that if he comes out of the grave today, I'm still going to vote for him because he was a good man and he remains a good man. For you to lead, you need to have empathy. For you to be a good leader, you need to have empathy. You need to hear the cry of your people. Having empathy is not this rubbish we see. Where someone will come and do crocodile tears, fake that this. No. Can you tell me any sector in Nigeria that is working presently? The health sector is in shambles. The power sector is in shambles. Okay, funny enough, we're in the National Assembly today when they took the light, and I was like, so light they go here too. It was funny. It's seriously funny. Why the world is still using nuclear energy to produce power? We are struggling.
A lot of funds that have been invested in the power sector, and we have a lot of privatization and all of that. Well, sometimes they will say government cannot do it, that private hands can do it.
How is the government checkmating the private sector? What policies are they keeping to checkmate the private sector? We are using prepaid meter mostly. Do we still have enough light? If you are charging me, okay, look at the way we are using our mobile phones for this. I'm buying my charge card. I shouldn't be cut off. So why do I need to buy my unit and you're still taking the light? It's my unit. Keep it for me. Let it burn. So what are we not doing right? This say Nigeria will be 64, if I'm not mistaken. At 64, what have we achieved? The educational sector is a mirage. The legislative sector is a mirage. The judicial sector is a mirage. The medical sector is a mirage. Our votes are all a mirage. In the month of November, my uncle was driving from Port Harcourt to Owerri. And this VIU, yeah, they held him between Owerri, Port Harcourt's axis. And they asked him, they checked everything, had everything. Do you know what they charged him for? They charged him that he doesn't have a first aid box in his car. Was he driving an ambulance, for God's sake, to have a first aid box? And he ended up paying about 35,000. I was like, when I heard about it, I was not happy. I asked him, I said, no. He said, please, that he doesn't want problem. That even went to the police officer, the man sent him back, I should get out, should go and sort his case out with the VIU. Who is checkmating all these things? A country without law is a country that is doomed to fail.
All right. And look at the issue of minimum wage. The NLC has proposed over 200,000 to be proposed. According to them, they are still having dialogue with the federal government on what the new minimum wage should be. The 30,000 have not even been implemented by some states, or even 40,000 or so maybe. Even if the minimum wage is now increased to 200,000, will it solve the issue of the cost of living of the people? Will this affect the lives of Nigerians?
It won't. It will only ease the pressure a little bit because there's still going to be an inflation. They need to fight to fix the economy. It will be better for me to be able to, if I earn 50,000, and then after the end of the day I can be able to save 20,000, than me earning 200,000, and at the end of the day I'm saving 3,000 naira. If you check the percentage, do your math, you see. And
have you even looked at the statistics of workers and the unemployed population?
The problem with Nigeria is that they believe that, many employees believe that if you're not ready to take the job, there are 1,001 unemployed people out there to take up the job. How many Nigerians are working to build a life? How many Nigerians can tell you that since I started working I've achieved this and this and this? No. Unless those are in positions where they loot, they steal, and they do the rest. A genuine civil servant in the Nigerian thing, some of them, they've worked for 20 years, they cannot ascertain even for even a 2-bedroom flat that they own. But yet people are building mansion at Katampe. The other day, a 1-bedroom flat was going for about 3.5 million at Katampe, and I was asking myself, so if Abuja is a civil service, listen, how are people paying for all this? So we need to tell ourselves the truth. There is a high level of corruption in this city that needs to be corrected. If this is not done, we are sitting on the time bomb.
Then who are those responsible? Now, EFCC held the national dialogue last week. Part of those accusations that came from that national dialogue was that some religious leaders are also contributing to money laundering in the country, adding some covers of illegality. And now young people are also accused of cybercrime that they find that to be lucrative. And the young people seems to the fact that they do not have good lessons, or they do not have people that they should learn from. And they find the cybercrime to be very lucrative for them to go into. All of this has contributed to the fact that EFCC are saying that these are the people that are not allowing them to do their job. If you look at the statistics of the dollar, imported goods by Nigerians, you look at the hairs and all of those things that Nigerians are using dollars to buy. And one may begin to also ask a question, who are those that buy this game? Who are those that buy this product? How do you common Nigerians who do not even have a naira to buy gari of a model or a rice that are purchasing the hair or are purchasing all of these imported goods with dollars?
People buy, these hairs are being bought. Most of these girls that wear this expensive hair are not even working class ladies. These are Visto girls. Girls are on the street where they catch these are big politicians. They are the ones. So
our politicians are also contributing to
yes,
this? Yes,
they are the ones that sponsor their lavish lifestyle. Will a civil servant that is earning 150,000 or 150,000 buy a hair of 700,000 for you? For what reason? When he has a wife and children at home that he has not fed. There are people sponsoring this lavish lifestyle, which are our politicians.
And so why AFCC are now accusing young people?
they are not happy that the young people are living beyond their expectation. Now, secondly, these young people going into cybercrime, I will categorically say it that anybody, a thief is a thief, no matter how you do it. Anybody that is found wanting for cybercrime should be arrested and persecuted. Any religious leader that is found for money laundering should be arrested. Nobody is above the law. But if a father in a home is not clean, how would you want the children to be clean? A father that smokes will tell the child not to smoke. In 2020, I was at Oshun NYSC camp. I camped there. And we were privileged to have the EFCC boss in the southwest. My name is Mr. Carlo then. He came up and he was addressing, talking about internet foster and how we need to help them to control this thing. I was privileged to go and speak. They never knew I was a comrade. So when I went out to speak, I asked him, I said, sir, about 4 years ago, there was a reported case of a bullion van going to a private residence. And to the best of my knowledge, that is not a bank premises. And the person has come out openly to ask Nigerians if their money was missing. So, are you telling me that nothing can be done to that person? Is it above the law? He told me, he laughed. There's a way he laughed, and he said you may not understand that they are going through forensic evidence. I said, forensic for over 4 years? What are we forensicing? What are they forensicing? I don't understand. Forensic for how long? Let's call a spade a spade. Let me tell you the truth today. If the leaders in Nigeria change today, crime rate in Nigeria will die. If in a home, a father is disciplined, it will be very hard for a child not to be disciplined. I grew up seeing my dad at home by 6 p.m. He gave me a 6 o'clock coffee. I thought I felt he was doing me bad. Now I'm a man on my own, and I enjoy that 6 o'clock coffee. I'm always in my house by 6 o'clock. Whatever is going to take me out must be very important. They say, where's the child on the way he will go? And when he goes, he won't depart from it. If as a boy, I'm going up to see a politician spending millions on a girl that I grew up together with, and I see a way of making that same to live the good life, we all want to live the good life. Why won't I? I'm not in any way supporting crime. I've never been a partaker of any of it, and I would never till I go down.
So do everybody trying to do the same thing just to get rich? Is that the way forward?
It's not the way forward. The same way forward is for our leaders to lead by example. Until they decide to lead by example, my brother, I'm telling you that this country cannot be fixed. You're on your way and you're seeing a politician in a convoy of 6 different cars. In the Netherlands, politicians go on bike. Why are they not being assassinated? They go on bicycle. The president of Netherlands moves on bicycle. So why is he not being assassinated? Why would a common local government chairman be moving with a convoy of 6, 7? We are already complaining that we don't have enough police, and the local government chairman will be having more than 4, 5, 6 police going with him. So these are things we should call to order.
Quite a whole lot of issues to deal with. Darlington, a human rights activist, have actually done justice to these conversations. It seems he's concluding that leaders has to make sacrifices. Of course, when the National Assembly were coming to beg Nigerians, or the presidency were begging Nigerians to actually make sacrifices, Nigerians were reacting. Them too has to start making sacrifices for the country to be served. Quite a lot of issues. Nothing seems to be working currently in the nation. But the cost of living is a threat, because if the stomach is not well fed, an hungry man, they normally say it is also an angry man. It also may contribute to the insecurity situation of this country. All of these are what government should rise to the occasion, take immediate actions and steps and implementation. The Nigerians want to see things get better with immediate action. We do not want a situation of more ideas or initiative, but we just want action. That has been the words of Darlington tonight on the state of the nation regarding the high cost of living and the protests that took place yesterday at Mina of Niger State. And now the package on today's edition of Big Talk. I remain your host, Eddie Michael. Many thanks, Darlington, for lending your voice to the conversation tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right. Many thanks for watching.